First of all, thankful for this beautiful day that you've given to us. We thank you for our health and all that comes with being your children. Lord, we thank you this morning especially for this group of individuals because, Lord, your word tells us that we should pray for our leaders. So, Lord, as we bring them before you this morning, we ask, Father, that you would give them wisdom, that you would give them compassion, that you would give them, Lord, the presence of mind to know what is best for the residents of these communities that they serve. Father, we thank you for them and we lift them up and we ask, oh Lord, that everything that is said and done in this meeting this morning would be to bring honor and glory to you and for the betterment of those brothers and sisters of ours. In your name we make this prayer. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Supervisor Martin, would you lead us in pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll start this morning with recognizing Mark Williams with Williams and Associates to speak about the Tradition Fire Station, Station 15.
Well, good morning, supervisors, Chief Sullivan, and other attendees. Thank you for having me to speak today about this important facility to further the advancement of Harrison County. I appreciate your vote of confidence in selecting Williams and Associates for this Fire Station 15 and Tradition. So, just to let you know,
I'm sorry.
It's a good song.
Of course, it's in my purse.
So,
You want my phone? Apologize.
It's okay. So planning this facility began many months ago, and we've also kind of been monitoring the construction cost. And I put together an assembly of opinion of probable cost based on some 30 fire stations that we've designed. So we have a track record of being able to assemble real cost numbers. And I'd like to go through those with you right now. So basically, Fire Station 15 is 5,708 square feet. And today's cost for this type of fire station is going to be around $350 a square foot. And that has to do with limited materials, long lead items, COVID-19. There's several factors that have pushed these costs way up like they are today.
And if I may just to enlighten the board a little bit, Pat and I went to Traditions and talked to Mr. Canizero, and he was grateful. I mean, they were kind enough to give the board 5 acres of land in this strategic area of growth where we have it. This is not just for Traditions. This is a huge area that it will be covering from District 5 and also District 1. So basically, if we do not build it, we will lose the land. It'll go back to Traditions. And so that's why I didn't know if the board was enlightened on everything or not, but I just wanted to kind of bring everybody up to date on that. So that's why we are here, and that's why we have our architect moving forward with it. And we also have the money from the bond issue that we've already set aside. So with that, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I wanted to make sure we were everybody on the right track.
And I would like to add to that, Connie, we've already talked to the surveyors at Harrison County, and they are presently undergoing a survey of the property because we do need that to complete the civil engineering portion of the project. We need to know topographical information, utilities, the boundary of the project, where the roads meets and bounds, easements are, all of that information needs to be provided. So
And then Doug has already got our road underway too. That's underway.
Yes, ma'am.
That's
We took bids and we're working through the paperwork with state aid.
okay. Thank you.
And so once that survey is complete, then we can call in the geotechnical engineers to do ground borings to determine the soil capacity, because we need around 2,500 PSI to get a shallow foundation, which is our goal. We want to build a shallow foundation here. That's typically what we do in this region. So if we discover we've got some unstable soils, we'll be looking at piling, which drive the cost up. So we want to make sure we look at that very carefully. So if you follow this, we have an estimated building cost of $350 a square foot times 5,700 leads us to a price of around $1.997 million. $1.97 million. And I'm throwing in a contingency here of $49,000 for our total building cost of $2,047,000. A&E cost of $163,000, and that covers all the engineering, plumbing, mechanical, electrical, civil, structural, and our fee. For a total cost of $2,211,564.60. And I've assembled 4 alternates here. So if we get into the bidding of the project and we realize, hey, we need to pull money out of the project to make it an awardable project because of our limit, our limit on funds. So alternate number 1 would be to deduct the generator out of the project and let the county buy the generator on their own to keep from paying contractor overhead and profit on something that the county has the capability of buying themselves. Now, the base bid would call for the installation of the generator.
Let me correct, we are buying the whole thing. It's a county project, it's a county fire station.
Right, so when we put the project out for bid,
Oh.
Taking out the middleman on certain
I got it, I
pieces
got
to
it.
save
You
money.
mean buy it direct as a, okay, I
right,
got it.
exactly, yeah.
Okay,
So
I'm
we would
sorry.
buy that generator through the county proceeds in general fund, or whatever funds you guys so see to use. And the contractor would be cut out of his overhead and profit on that particular item. It's gonna save you a little bit of money, not a whole lot, but that item in and of itself is about $28,000. So if you take that out of the project and you pay for it with some other funds, you can see a savings of $28,000. Alternate number 2 would be to deduct the contingency that I mentioned earlier out at $49,875. Deductive alternate number 3 would be the landscaping allowance of $35,000, and then deductive alternate number 4 would be to reduce the engine bay size by 350 or 846 square feet, which I really don't advise on that, but that is an option. So we have a possible value engineering reductions of $408,975. So we could appreciably see our building costs go down to $1.8 million, all else included. So I was going to run through the building plan with you really quickly. So presently we have 2 engine bays, and they are designed to accommodate a ladder truck or an aerial, because we are answering calls at Williams Carey University, and that has about 3 or 4 4-story buildings already constructed. So we're going to need to be able to answer those types of fires along with all the residences. So these engine bays are designed for a ladder truck, which they weigh 80,000 to 100,000 pounds. So the concrete slab will be 8 inches thick under wherever this truck travels on this piece of property, the driveway included. So 2 engine bays. We have ancillary support storage space here that's compliant with IBC 2000. I think we're under 18 now. IBC 2018. So these will be smoke sealed to allow that area to be sealed from the carcinogens produced by the fire truck. We've got bedrooms here, offices, a custodial space, handicap toilets, which the whole building's handicap accessible, kitchen and a day room, and we have an appearance that looks traditional, very traditional. So this would be more or less the front of the building, the side. This is the front entry, engine bays, and then the side of the building basically this follows that same architectural theme. I've got more details. If you guys are interested, I'll be glad to answer them.
We appreciate it. I know that District 5 is in need of this. Pat, do you have anything to say as far as?
Just that, you know, I think we all know where we're going with this thing. Harrison County is blowing up, and we can't sit here and wait 10 years to do what we're doing today, which y'all are working on. So we appreciate it, and we're trying to build for the future that this station will be relevant 10, 15 years from now, and we won't have to go back and do anything new to it. So we thank you for your consideration on this.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you.
Any further discussion or questions?
I say spend the money.
So I'd like to make a motion that we move forward with letting our contracts and moving forward on building this fire station.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Number 2, order concurring with the resolution of the Harrison County Development Commission authorizing and approving an addendum to option and real estate purchase agreement with Gulf South Technology Center LLC for the purpose of expanding the lands in Harrison County covered under the option and real estate agreement from approximately 337 acres to approximately 1,700 acres, and to identify such lands by Harrison County parcel number in all other respects, such as agreement to remain unchanged and continue in full as stated therein. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning. Motion.
Second.
Discussion. So, 2 weeks ago it was 337 acres, and now today it's back to the 1,700. I'm confused.
Because when we originally submitted the paperwork, the intent was to have an option on all 1,700 acres. When the attorneys did their thing, they realized that what we originally approved or submitted was only 337. Now they've worked together to get it back to the original intent.
Is that correct? Tricia?
I'm sorry, bud.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, any further discussion or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 3, order concurring with the resolution of the Harris County Development Commission authorizing and approving execution of a memorandum of understanding with Gulf Ship LLC regarding cost-sharing obligations with respect to the Harrison County bulkhead and dock construction project. Motion?
Motion.
Second discussion, Bill, that's 2 grants, right? Two separate grants?
Yeah, the Restore Act is building the bulkhead. The ACE grant is filling in the gap because of the construction. And they had an existing ACE grant that they hadn't used, so this is a modification of
The
that ACE
ACE
grant.
grant is going to the company.
Yes,
It
it's
goes to the
through
company.
MDA to the company.
Yeah.
And the main intent of what we brought to you today is we have no liability on any cost overruns. So
Right.
we had to be abundantly clear.
What is the match on these grants? Is there a match?
This is, no, because they got money for the bulkhead. And this is just not even a match. This is just because
So
of
the
the
Restore Act
construction
doesn't have
costs.
a match or anything?
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Bill. All right, number 4, recognizing Matt Stratton, EMA Director, to speak about hurricane season preparedness activities and scheduled events. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for allowing me to give you an update this morning on our hurricane preparedness. Unfortunately, it looks like it could be another active season for us this year. The early predictions for our hurricane season are we're expecting a near normal to slightly below normal level of activity. We still have the official NOAA forecast to be unveiled later this month, but all indications are we should prepare for activity this year. And so over the next weeks and months, we're going to be making sure that the Harrison County team is ready. And this week is Hurricane Preparedness Week, and coordinating with our state partners, we're making sure we're getting information out to our communities on ways people can prepare. So that'll be going April 30th through the 5th of May, and there will be daily topics and tips on how people can prepare. Later this month, on May 19th, we'll be meeting with our chemical storage and production activities in the county. Make sure that they are prepared for the coming hurricane season, and so that'll be May 19th, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., and we'll be talking chemical safety and hurricane preparedness. At the end of the month, May 31st, we will be gathering our city, county, government coordination and working with the nonprofits and some of our critical infrastructure as well for our pre-season incident management team meeting. And so that'll be May 31st, starting at 2 p.m. to make sure that we're all on the same page heading into hurricane season. We also have some point of distribution training. We haven't activated any pods since Hurricane Zeta, and so this will be an opportunity for us to refresh on those plans, and we're going to bring MEMA down to give us some refresher training on that. And while it won't be ready for implementation this hurricane season, coming down the road in August, we are expecting the hurricane evacuation study for Mississippi and Alabama to be completed in August. And so that is a big effort underway with the Corps of Engineers, with NOAA and county and state participation to make sure that we've updated our evacuation plans, looked at our full vulnerability across our communities, and that will then give us information to potentially make any adjustments next hurricane season. We expect that report in August. And that's how we stand at this time, and prepared to take any questions the board might have.
Thank you. Any questions? Did the states talk to y'all about contraflow and the plan?
That is part of the hurricane evacuation study, yes, ma'am.
But it's a state, I mean, do y'all meet as state leaders or county? I mean, how does
Correct.
that
So
coordination? I'm just curious.
The interface is between Louisiana and Mississippi, or Alabama and Mississippi at the MDOT level, but this evacuation study is taking into account not just our evacuation, but our neighbors as well.
And then MDOT and the other departments of transportation make that decision, and then we're informed.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you, Matt. Any questions, comments? Thank you so
Thank you.
much. All right, let's see, consent agenda 5 through 9 agenda items are placed on consent agenda, same appearing to be routine, non-controversial matters on which all supervisors are likely to agree. Motion?
Motion. Second.
All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Number 10, tax assessor, order spreading upon the minutes personnel changes for the tax assessor's office as listed and on file with the payroll clerk and personnel department. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. Sharon, did you want to talk to the board about something?
I didn't know if y'all had the printout. I just passed it out to y'all.
No, that's all right.
Who's the president?
Yeah, wrong one.
Sorry.
That's okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 11, order acknowledging receipt of and approving petitions for decreases to the 2018 through 2021 real and personal property rolls as recommended by the tax assessor. Motion?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 12, order acknowledging receipt of and approving petitions for decreases to the 2022 real property roll as recommended by the tax assessor. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 13, tax collector, order approving agreement for online auction portal between Harrison County, Mississippi and GovEase Auction LLC for the purpose of providing virtual tax sale auction services for the sale of delinquent real property taxes located in Harrison County, Mississippi for the Harrison County tax collector and authorizing the board president to execute the same. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? Sharon, would you like to fill us in?
I printed these out for y'all to make it easier, in case, you might already have it.
We have
just in
it.
case. Oh, you have this?
Yeah, but it should be the backups. You're talking
Yeah.
about the tax collector agreement with W's?
So, it'll go up another $25,000 versus what we typically pay. So it'll go up 25,000 more, but the way they're doing it this time, which is nice, is because normally the county absorbs that, and now we'll actually get it back. So when the taxpayer comes in to redeem their property, they'll pay that $20 back to the county through Chancery Clerk's office. And Delta already worked on adding a field to their screen so they can collect it, and the county will get their money back. So typically that doesn't happen. We lose that money.
So it's a wash this year,
It's
but
a
then
wa-
what about next year?
No, it'll be if we start it this coming time, we start our tax sales in August. So if we start it this year, which we have plenty of time to do so, it'll be a wash from here on out going forward if we do it this way.
Basically, what she's saying, the cost of the sale is borne by the taxpayer.
Yep, the cost of the sale will be absorbed, the cost of the sale will be absorbed by the tax sale purchase from here on out going forward. Typically, they do a 1.25% of the sale of how much goes to the actual tax sale, which is about $9 million, goes to tax sale every year. It never really, it's about the same every year, $9 million. And we have to do a tax sale to collect that. Typically, we pay about $109,000. If we do it the new way, it'll be $135,000, but we get, it's a difference of $25,000, and we will get it back when they redeem their taxes.
Good. Any further discussion or questions for Sharon? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 14, order spreading upon the minutes personnel changes for the tax collector's office as listed and as on file with the payroll administrator in the Human Resources Department. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 15, order acknowledging receipt of and spreading upon the minutes a letter from the Secretary of State's office approving Harrison County's HAVA application for the purchase of software support and full product support for electronic poll books in use in Harrison County. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Well, we're running ahead of schedule, so we're gonna go to 17. We have a 10:30 hearing. 17, County Engineer, order accepting the recommendation from the Selection Committee regarding debris monitoring services, authorizing a contract with the highest ranking firm, Tetra Tech, and authorizing the board president to execute contract with selected firm following review by legal, as recommended by Jacqueline Turner, P.E., Harrison County Engineer. Motion?
Motion.
Second. Discussion.
Discussion. Jacqueline, would you like to
Yeah,
come?
Jackie,
Fill us in.
I didn't see a contract per se on here.
We don't have one, and I can bring that back and put it on another agenda if you like. This just selects a firm, and since we hadn't made that selection, I hadn't asked them to provide a contract yet. So if you move forward with this, I will ask for a contract and then go through legal review and have it executed. And spread on the minute copies.
Are you doing okay?
Moving slow, but okay.
Good to see you. All right, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 18, order approving the subdivision application for Autumn Lake Subdivision Phase 1, which includes 23 lots located in Section 26, Township 6 South, Range 11 West, Supervisors Voting District 5, 1st Judicial District, as recommended by Jacqueline Turner, P.E., Harrison County Engineer, as follows. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Jacqueline. Fire Services, order approving travel for Fire Chief Pat Sullivan to attend the All Hazards Incident Commanders Course L950 on June 12th through 15th of this year in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, at an estimated cost of $500 for lodging and reimbursement for meals, payable from 106-250-476. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion?
cheap.
Yeah. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Parks and Rec, order rescinding approval from the April 10th, 2023 meeting of concession stand rental from Mary Powell in the amount of $100 on May 27th and 28th, 2023. This was a cancellation. Motion.
Motion.
Second?
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Senior Resources, order approving seniors dance party event to be held May 31st, 2023 at the Biloxi Civic Center. Motion?
Motion?
Second, I just have a question.
Sure.
Janet, are y'all are you having to pay for that civic center?
Pardon me? No,
You're having
it's,
that Biloxi Civic Center?
been waived the fee,
Okay.
and we're partnering with, SMPDD, and they're putting up all the expense. So,
Oh,
no,
okay, because I know we got plenty of county.
Yeah. Thank you.
This is pretty big,
Yeah, that's a good question.
bigger than we can handle.
All right, all those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 22, order approving payments of claims listed to be paid from the tort account. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 23, order concurring with the county administrator on employment as listed and as on file with the payroll clerk and personnel human resources department. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 24, order spreading upon the minutes the personnel changes of the sheriff's office as listed and as on file with the payroll clerk and personnel human resources department. Motion.
Motion.
Second?
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 25, order concurring with the road manager on employment as listed and as on file with the payroll clerk and personnel human resources department. Motion?
Motion. Second.
Discussion?
Second?
All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed?
Here.
Motion carries. 26, consider approving service agreement with Express Employment Professionals for a temporary human resources general list position at the lowest total quote of $11,120. It's 500 hours at $22.24 an hour, and authorizing the board president to execute the same, money within the budget. Motion?
Motion. Second.
Discussion?
Okay, what, is she,
I think
Miss
it's
Judy?
Maternity leave.
What, would this person be doing? Is this an extra person, or?
This person would be doing the same as, what Cassidy was doing before in her position, and she'll also be helping out when our other HR person goes on leave. That's family leave.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 27, order acknowledging receipt of the 2023-24 annual term bids received on April 19th of this year and authorizing the award effective July 1st, 2023 of each tabulated with the lowest bidder being best and principal supplier and next lowest bidder being the alternate supplier as recommended by the purchase clerk. Motion?
Motion.
Second. Discussion. Tim, and I could have missed it, but there was no bid on asphalt in place?
Yes, sir.
There is?
Yes, sir.
Is it in there?
Yeah, it went up to 125.70 a ton.
Pardon?
It's up to 125.70 a ton in place. Pickup at the plant went up to 86.
I'm sorry, I didn't see asphalt in place on that list, but
Warm bait.
I could easily miss it. But that's what it is, Tim?
It's,
Okay.
it's, number E.
Do we, is,
Everything's
are we
not
gonna
up
still
there.
continue with the contract, for, cost of
No, it's,
fuel? That's out this
That's
go
out.
around.
They won't-
They got it covered with that.
I appreciate them working with us, but it ate their lunch.
Yeah.
It kept our asphalt prices
Yeah.
down, so.
Yeah,
They're not gonna make that mistake again, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
All those,
It's item number E.
Is it E?
Yes, sir.
On the
That's pickup.
27th?
Yes, sir.
And in place, yeah.
It's picked up
Pick up
and in
and
place.
in place.
Oh, that's what it is. It jumped the page and I missed it. I see how
it sure
my eyes
did.
aren't what they used to be. Thank you.
Everything,
Yeah.
everything's almost double now.
Yeah. I just missed it because on my back up.
The next word was on the next
Yeah,
page,
the next,
so.
one word on the next page.
Yeah. All right, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 28, order acknowledging that no bids were received April 19, 2023 for the 23-2024 term and authorizing re-advertising as requested by the road manager on the following bid groups. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 29, order designating any Board of Supervisor, county administrator, purchase clerk, chancery clerk, or any department head as needed as the board's representatives to receive the following. Motion?
Second.
Discussion?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 30, order authorizing advertisement for RFQs for professional engineering services for the Beachfront Resilience Project, and the sub-award agreement was approved on October 3rd of last year. Motion?
Motion.
Second, what?
Discussion?
Discussion.
Here, what is this?
I'm sorry,
That's
discussion.
okay. The Beachfront Resilience Project.
Yeah, there's no backup. What
There's
is it?
no backup.
Does anybody know what it is?
Engineering?
It's Judy Williams.
Judy's here.
I'll try to make
Judy
it
Williams.
resilient.
What is this number 30? This, Beachfront Resilience Project. What is that?
Is that the one for Sand Beach?
Okay, then I'll withdraw my motion.
And I second your withdrawal. And maybe we can, I move to table until we can.
I know there's a grant that Karen
I'll
and Chuck
second.
are working
Yeah,
on.
it's the
that's
one
it.
for
I'll do it.
Sand Beach. It's all funded.
Well, what is it?
I'd have to get them to tell, since I was out last week.
Will it mess up any dates or anything if we table it until next meeting?
Well, yeah, they've got to advertise, they've got to go ahead and advertise for the project, since we have to spend the money before a certain deadline.
But when we matter.
Let me go ask them.
I'm second her motion to table.
No, I know. I'm asking if you're aware.
Oh,
if
no,
you've
I'm
gotten any
sorry,
word.
no, I thought you said you have an issue with this.
Oh, no. I said, are you aware? No, I said, are you aware?
Yeah, no.
All we're doing is approving
It's just for the RFQ, and if it's
we're
grant
not accepting
funded.
or approving any expenditures, anything, so we just letting them go out for an RFQ, so I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Y'all want to wait, I can bring it back up later in the meeting when Pam gets back? Let's do that.
Let's do that.
We'll
Yeah,
just
'cause
move
you got a
forward.
motion and a second to table till Monday.
Yeah, but we
Or
want to make sure we don't
table
mess
till
up
the end of the
time.
meeting, I don't care, I mean,
All right, we'll just move forward and see if she gets us the information. 31, recognize the sheriff, actually Ron Pullen, thank you so much for being here. Our sheriff is at a funeral of a former sheriff in another county.
He is. We have 651 total, 107 females, 46 misdemeanors, 38 are cleared to go to MDOC, and 34 federal inmates. And those numbers have come down a little bit.
Yeah,
They're
I
doing
noticed
what
that.
they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
That's
So
good.
if they're not moving them, I think we're moving them for them.
There you go.
Awesome. All right, Pam.
Okay, it's $2.4 million project, and it's for the concrete sidewalks, additional, and for COs planned.
For what?
COs.
COs for sand.
Oh, CO.
And it's all granted
It's all-
money?
It's all money that we get, we're not having to have any match.
okay, that's so move.
All right. You want to Still second? Y'all are good with the
Yeah.
first and the second? Okay. For any further discussion on number 30? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 32, order spreading upon the minutes the memorandum of understanding between the Harrison County Sheriff's Office and Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College for the Harrison County Law Enforcement Training Academy, term ending December 31st, 2023. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? I just want to say that the law enforcement ribbon cutting last week and ceremony was absolutely amazing, and we're so lucky to have this, and it'll be here training people from all over the country, especially in the southern region, not just here in Harrison County. So big kudos to everyone who had anything to do with it. Any further discussion?
Yeah.
All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right, 33, order approving the low quote purchase for additional sod at the Harrison County Law Enforcement Training Academy from AFCO Turf in the amount of $26,980, payable from 028201697. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 34, order adjudicating the board president's signature on and submission of the FY23 Homeland Security Grant application for the Harrison County Sheriff's Office in the amount of $50,500 for a new truck for the Law Enforcement Training Academy. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 35, order adjudicating the board president's signature on the submission. Did I just read that one?
No.
Okay. Signature application for the Harris County Sheriff's Office in the amount of $60,302 for a mobile command center for the Sheriff's Office. Motion?
Motion.
We have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 36, order authorizing disposal of inactive records listed which are eligible for disposal in accordance with retention schedules previously approved by Local Government Records Committee and adopted by this Board of Supervisors. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. County Administrator, order acknowledging receipt of solid waste. Did I?
Number 37.
37.
This allergy medicine is making me feel loopy, I gotta tell y'all. All right, 37, order approving the attached line item transfers within the sheriff's budget. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Now, order acknowledging receipt of solid waste assistance grant agreement SWC 593 between the Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality and Harrison County for the Bring It Household Hazardous Waste Collection Program in the amount of $75,000, and this ends December 31st, 2025, authorizing board president to execute the same. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? I want to give kudos to Michelle Clifford, who did a great job last week at Brandon Ladder Memorial Park because, or Bruce Ladder, I'm sorry, because it was a wonderful day for the disabled, and they picked up trash and they put out mulch and they ate, and I just want to tell Michelle thank you for organizing that. All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 39, order authorizing disposal of assets per attached list and authorizing the inventory clerk to remove the same from the inventory list. Motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 40, order approving mileage reimbursement for travel for the following employees. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 41, order authorizing the reimbursement to the road fund 150-000-360 in the amount of $246.44 payable from the general fund 001-522-581 for moving bleachers at the fairgrounds. Motion?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 42, order authorizing reimbursement to the Bridge Fund 160-000-360 for the following items. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 43, order acknowledging receipt of March 2023 travel and procurement card as follows. Motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 44, Chancery Clerk, order approving claims docket per Mississippi Code of 1972, annotated section 1913-27. Motion?
First. Motion. Second, first, third, fourth. See if everybody's awake this morning. Just check.
Any discussion on that? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 45, order approving payment as listed, of claims, listed. Motion?
Motion, but I do have a question.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second for discussion.
Discussion?
I'm sorry, Jackie, on number A, for the boat launch, is the meeting still on for tomorrow?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thanks. And so that's not the final payment, right?
Oh, no, no.
Okay, that was all.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 46, order acknowledging receipt of check number 10419 in the amount of $129,281.72 from Chancery Clerk John McAdams, representing the excess over the salary cap for 2022, and that's been to be deposited into the general fund. Motion?
Motion.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 47, order acknowledging receipt of check number 1719 in the amount of $26,393.56 turned over to Chancery Clerk John McAdams by Circuit Clerk Connie Ladner, representing the excess over the salary cap for 2022 to be deposited into the general fund. Motion?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All those, any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries, yeah. 48, order acknowledging receipt of Hedge Star GASB 53 and GASB 72 annual reports for derivative-related debt 2010B. This is for the bond series for the year 2022, and authorizing payment of $3,500 to Hedge Star, invoice number 8565, payable from 211-800-803. Motion?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Madam President,
Yes.
before you move on, I would recommend a third meeting.
A third meeting?
Look,
Okay.
it's almost over 3 weeks maybe, or right at 3 weeks between meetings. It's your call, the board's call.
Do we want to look at our schedules now and decide, or talk about it later? A third meeting this month, you know?
Yes, in the first judicial district.
How does May 22nd look for any of you? Is that okay for y'all, May 22nd?
That's my daughter's birthday. I don't know.
Happy birthday.
Just said it.
All right, let's say May 22nd for that third meeting here in Gulfport, Judicial District 1.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is it Jacqueline or?
Just the baby.
Oh, the baby.
And this is gonna be
Tracy.
John, is this for claims? John, is this for claims, payment of claims?
assume you have so many grants going on, I would assume you would want it. That's the board's call, not mine.
We here just well take care of it.
Yeah, might as well. So we're not playing catch-up later. All right. Where were we? Still 49. Order approving amended applications for 100% Service Connect Disability Tax Exemption for tax parcel 0511H-01-043.000 for tax years 2019 and 2020. Motion?
Second discussion is is that to allow people additional time on that? What is that? Amended application for disability?
Do you remember, I think it was the first meeting last month, there was a gentleman who appeared, the veteran.
Gotcha.
And
That's what we're doing.
This is specific
Okay.
to his
All right.
situation.
Gotcha. Good to know.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 50, order concurring with the decision of the Harrison County School District to approve the commercial lease agreement between Harrison County School District and Clark Oil Company, Inc. for approximately 1.3 acres of 16 section land located in Section 16, Township 7 South, Range 11 West, Gulfport, Mississippi 39503, and authorizing board president to execute the same. Motion?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 51, order approving new job description position of clerical support lead for Department of Human Services, DHS county staff, replacing one clerical position, money within budget. Motion?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 52. 52, order authorizing budget amendments as listed. Motion?
Motion.
Have a second. Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 53, order approving the waiver of rental fees required by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to host a public forum to discuss the Forest Heights Levee project on May 18th, 2023 at the Isaiah Fredericks Community Center. Motion?
Motion.
Second, does the Corps of Engineers require us to grant a waiver? Let it go.
We'll remember that, though, and then next time we have an issue with that.
But it says approving the waiver of rental fees required by
Oh,
the
it
Corps
sure
of
does.
Engineers.
That's funny.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, instead of requested.
Yeah.
All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Just causes confusion.
Yeah. 54, order approving the waiver of rental fees for the use of the Good Deeds Community Center by the Gulfport Alumni Chapter of Kappa Alpha Phi Fraternity. Psi, thank you. I was never a Greek person. On February 10th, 2024. Motion?
Motion.
Have a second? Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 55, order authorizing and approving the repair and resurfacing of Hickman Road within the city of Biloxi as per the terms of the interlocal governmental cooperation agreement between the city and Harrison County. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 56, order authorizing the repair and resurfacing of Cypress Drive, Shannon Drive, Octave Street, Dina Drive, Vicky Drive, Knoll Drive, Neal Drive, Fox Run Cove, Cypress Creek Cove, Gore and Flow Avenue, Gable Street, Rowan Street, Thomas Street, Bay Street, Magnolia Street, Camille Street, within the city of D'Iberville pursuant to the terms of the interlocal governmental cooperation agreement between the city and Harrison County. Motion?
Motion.
Second, just for clarification, the city of D'Iberville is paying for all this, so.
That's the way we like it.
Sure. But Timmy, are they aware of the new price on the
Yes,
asphalt?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just making sure they know
They're supposed to pay
that it went up.
Yeah. Paying up, they're
I'm
gonna.
gonna pay it up front.
Yeah, they're paying up front, that's good.
And Melissa's paying.
Just make sure it's the new
50%.
price.
This one, for one above.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 57, order denying the claim of Linda Sue Harvey for damages associated with injuries alleged to have occurred from a fall in the east parking area of Gulfport's courthouse. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 58, order approving settlement with Don Shiki Barrett in the amount of $1,945.87 for damages incurred to Harrison County Sheriff Unit 1813 on November 27th, 2022, and authorizing the execution of the release for same. Motion?
Motion.
We have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. So we have a hearing in 5 minutes. We'll go to the last one now. Order adjudicating and authorizing expenditures as listed as necessary to advertise and bring into favorable notice the opportunities, possibilities, and resources of Harrison County, Mississippi, including the county logo being displayed along with link displayed to Harrison County online. And please add any broadcasting as well. Gotcha, thank you.
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed?
No. I'm not-
Motion
I'm
carries.
opposed. No.
All right, we have 5 minutes, so you want to go down the road, down the line quickly? Do y'all have anything from legal?
I do not, thank you.
Amazing. Dr. Ladner?
No. Nothing.
Supervisor Jones? Me either. What a good day. Supervisor Martin?
No.
Supervisor?
No. I thought I had y'all go.
Ms. Pam?
Did y'all receive a copy or information from the Mississippi Public Entity Workers' Compensation for the meeting scheduled May 18th on Thursday at 10:30 a.m. in Jack Ridgeland? Did y'all all get a copy?
That doesn't sound
I think I
familiar.
emailed that out to you guys.
Okay.
So,
What is it?
What's it
pertaining
for?
to?
it's our meeting, their
Workers'
annual
comp.
meeting.
Oh,
Oh,
Workers'
for
comp.
workers, workers' comp.
That we don't have a seat or a voice on that one.
should we send our
Yeah,
HR?
just send, Judy. Yeah, Judy to the meeting. So we just need to put on minutes who were proxy and
Okay.
Judy didn't hear
Judy
that. I
Lee.
need to explain. What-
You'd be willing to go to that in Ridgeland, right? Talking about workers' comp. It's like a seminar.
it's a meeting they have.
It's a meeting of the workers' comp.
The election of trustees.
But it's informative as well, right?
Yes.
I mean, they teach the current, okay, perfect.
Yeah, she gets it.
Workman's comp.
Can we take a 4-minute break for restroom?
Yes. We'll take a 5-minute break for a restroom. TV, they call it a bio break. We'll be right back for that hearing at 10:30. Thank you. This is under code administration. It's a 10:30 hearing to determine whether or not property owned by the estate of Jerry Mack Williams, deceased, Samuel E. Williams, administrator, located at 18128 Highway 49 in Saucier, Mississippi 39574, being tax parcel number 0705-05-010.000 and 0705-05009.000 is a blighted property pursuant to Mississippi House Bill number 1582, established in the 2016 regular session. So this hearing, first let's hear from Code. Kelly, would you just give us kind of the history and the background, and then we'll hear from each side and anyone who would like to speak.
Okay, so we did post the notices back on April the 14th. There are 2 parcels involved. It's a mobile home park, Highway 49 mobile home park, also known as Braden Road Mobile Home Park. The original developer has passed, and since his wife as well, I understand it's in an estate. They do have an administrator of the estate. I sent notification certified, that did not come back. I'm not sure about the address having been, what we had the latest, but I believe maybe representation for him is here. Excuse me, we do have, there are, 29 mobile homes on these two parcels, combined parcels. There's one house, a shed, and 7 occupied mobile homes. They, the majority of we would consider them abandoned. The others, the ones that are not occupied, being abandoned, they have been stripped of windows, the electrical. There's mold throughout a lot of them, very deplorable condition. When the inspectors went out to do their original inspection, there was even a fire on one of the porches. They had to call the fire department out there. We aren't sure if that mobile home is even legally occupied. It does not have power. When we went out last week, it had solar panels outside and was running into the windows. So, as you know, it's just, and Miss Connie, I know we've been dealing with this for, I believe, 6 years. It's been through several administrators in zoning and Teresa previous to me, and several of the zoning people, the employees that handle the complaints and stuff like that. So it never really came to fruition all this time. So now we're sitting here with a lot of paperwork, trying to get them to see what we can do to get it cleaned up. I believe there are a good many neighbors here as well. But so one of the biggest issues, the lagoon on the property is not functioning. They, I believe the pump had gone bad, they replaced it, and now it is removed. There's no power to it or anything. I did reach out to DEQ. I think I may have attachments to that effect. I think they finally, after I spoke with them, they reached out to and maybe made contact with the administrator of the estate. The only thing that was really mentioned was maybe putting a fence around it. I'm not sure if that came up in a discussion they had. I did, because I talked to Ms. Trish this morning, and she asked the question where DEQ stood on it right now. So I called on my way here and spoke to the gentleman that I had contact with there. He said that they would send a local office back out there to evaluate it again, to see where they stand. But he felt like the local level on addressing that, when they still have occupied mobile homes dumping into that system. There's also a business on the property that I believe, I'm not 100% certain, but it was built by Mr. Jerry Williams, who had owned the park originally. And when I went by there, the gentleman that operates that business said that the sewer does run to that location, but I'm not 100% certain that it is connected to it.
Kelly, let me ask you something. Did I understand you say that the guy, DEQ, told you it needs to be dealt with on the local level?
As far as, what he says, we're not going to come down here and evict the people that are living there.
In reference to the lagoon malfunctioning, who on the local level would be responsible for that,
Exactly. Yes,
except
sir.
the property owner?
Right. Well, not responsible in that regard, but as far as them continuing to dump sewer, these mobile homes that are occupied and continuing to dump sewer into the lagoon. Well, he said that he doesn't see them coming down here and evicting those people for dumping into a lagoon that's non-functioning. That's what he was referring to there. But he said, it's a
who
little
would deal with that? You can't have
That's so we've been
Right.
dealing with. Yeah.
right.
Who would deal with that?
Yes, sir.
And I have a problem with him saying, who on the
Well,
local
if it's
level?
on a local level, as far as us, given that, I don't know if there's a certain amount of time, he really could not tell me what their next step would be. And like I said, I did just speak with him this morning. But he was he's like, well, what are you asking me? And I'm like, where do y'all stand on it? And he really could not give me
That
that
is
information.
What about,
agency?
what about the water? Has the health department been out there at all?
I do not know if there being an issue with the water, if it's on a well. I'm not.
Well, they've passed new rules and regulations about wells and water, but I don't know now who's in charge of
Yes,
that sort of.
I mean, that's something that we can continue to look at, but.
Problem with the property for the past years is who is in charge of the property? Nobody's,
Right.
it's
Yes,
never
ma'am.
been
And
clarified.
I think that's been an issue because like I said, with us dealing with it through the years, after Mr. Williams passed away, his wife, Miss Williams, Miss Sammy Williams, I think they had dealings, I think Miss Carolyn had even had dealings with her and the daughter. And it got to the point, I think there was I don't know if there was somebody trying to purchase the property or looking into purchasing it. So then there became this, who has rights to it, who doesn't. So that got all mixed in with it as well. So, like Mr. Tim did end up, finding out who the administrator of the estate was. And I guess they're the ones that obviously were supposed to be, handling this. We're just bringing it before to all of the issues that we have with it. We did have, let's see, the other business, there are the mobile homes that are occupied right now. There are some violations with those when they went out there. The inspectors went out there originally. One of the mobile homes had water pouring out of the water heater onto some electrical. The electrical box is completely open. It's no covers or anything on it.
It's energized?
So, sir?
Is it energized?
Yes, sir. So whenever they were out there, they told him, walked the renter around around the mobile home, and told him all of the issues that they needed to address. When we went out there last week, the only thing that they had addressed was the water heater. So in moving forward, however y'all choose to do, I believe that that's something that definitely needs to be addressed immediately, life safety there.
Yeah,
There was one mobile home when we went last week that is actually owned by Mr. Ladner. He owns 8 of the mobile homes out there. He rents the lot and owns those mobile homes. We saw that a clean out had been removed. The top had been removed and evidence of sewer on the ground. He happened to be there when I questioned him. He said that there was a block in the line down the way. Don't know if that has to do with the lagoon not functioning, but I said, you cannot continue to have sewer running on the ground.
No.
So that's a habitable mobile home that, is obviously having its own sewer issues
Okay,
in
in terms
itself.
of
So-
ownership, Mr. Gillespie, do you represent, or what is you're mentioned here in the
state.
letter?
I can, think I can answer a lot of questions.
Please.
First, make no doubt about this is a very bad situation. I don't want to get up here and make any excuses, but Jerry McWilliams died in 2009. And we are right now in litigation about what his widow did when she was appointed administrator of the estate. From 2009 till her death in 2019, she took all the money out of this estate. I don't want to, all this is in litigation. She did no repairs out there. And a couple of years ago, my client, Sam Williams, the son of Jerry Williams, was appointed administrator. And we've come in, we've began to collect a little money on rent that was being collected by someone else. We're putting it in the court here recently. The well out there went out, so we got these people living out there. No well. We paid $20,000 to repair the well and get it back in operation. We're currently.
Who
are you representing?
Sam Williams,
We who?
the
Hey,
son.
estate.
$20,000. The estate?
The estate, because we're getting rent from the GNO Supply, $2,000 a month. We are now, Mr. Ladner, who was mentioned, now is paying the rent on his trailer lots to the estate, but he's just been doing that for a short period of time. If I told y'all the story about this, it's really sad what happened.
I have a question.
And I don't want to do that. I'm just
Wait a
telling you,
second,
I'm
everybody.
Ma'am,
I'm sorry, Virgil, we don't need the big, long history. I just need to know, Samuel E. Williams is the administrator, the son of the deceased couple, and
Right.
you represent him.
right.
So he has spent $20,000 to fix a few things. Is he aware of the blighted situation and the danger to children and any living being near him?
He is.
And what
we-
is his plan to
We
move
are,
forward?
we have been dealing with the EQ of the lagoon. I just had someone out getting an estimate of what it's gonna cost to clean this place up. His initial, he ain't given me the estimate yet, but he said, we're talking $40,000-$50,000 here, because we've got to take all of those trailers, compact them, and take them out. We've got to clean up the lagoon. We've got to do a lot of.
So that's the
electrical-
plan, to take the trailers away
Right,
and clean it up.
right. But
And that's
here's
the
our
plan.
problem. We've only got $11,000
Left in the estate?
in the estate because all the rest of it was taken by people who shouldn't have gotten it.
Allegedly.
And we are, well, that's words we use.
All right.
You know, when I represent somebody,
They're right.
they're always right.
That's right. Okay, go ahead with the
But
discussion.
let's put it this way, I'm doing all I can with the money and the resources available to do this. I doubt that if, say, the county did what they could do, and I appreciate what they could do, I doubt that the property would pay the ad valorem tax on it if it was set up for sale. So,
What would be your guess as the appraised value?
ma'am,
What is your guess of the appraised value of that property?
but I'd be hard pressed to do that because I wouldn't buy it.
That's what I'm.
I think Eric I've talked to him about, the value of it being a trailer. Well, I don't want to call it
Well, the value of the land, let's just say just the land.
after it's cleaned up,
Right now.
it would be acreage only, I would say, probably in the neighborhood of $75,000-$80,000.
How many acres?
And of course,
Yeah,
it's
how many
sold
acres is
at
it, Virgil? How many acres?
I don't know right
Okay.
now.
All right, thank you. Any further questions of Virgil before we?
I
hear
just
from
need
neighbors?
some time, that's all I need.
I do.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So is it the intent, does the administration propose to continue to operate and collect rental fees from these tenants?
We don't have any trailers. Eric Ladner, I believe his name is, Mr. Ladner has about 6 trailers out there.
8 trailers.
But you said you were collecting rent from Mr. Ladner, correct?
Mr. Ladner has just begun paying rent to the estate for the 6 lots he's
So
renting.
that's a yes. You are collecting
Yes.
rent from trailers.
Right,
And
16.
the intent is to continue,
Yes,
and they have no legal disposal method for their wastewater.
with us, what we're working on
How
right
long?
now, to get that fixed.
For how long?
For what?
How long will it take for you to get that fixed?
Until I have a contractor that comes back and tells me that, I can't answer that. But as soon as we can. I mean, those people are living out there, now if they have any other place to live.
Well, do they have, and you may not be the right person to answer this, but do they have a rental agreement with Mr. Ladner? Or does your client, the administration, have a rental agreement with Mr. Ladner for those lots?
The only agreement we have is for him to pay into court every 3 months the amount he was paying to the people that were getting it, that wasn't supposed to be getting it.
So he's a tenant.
Ma'am?
So in essence, he's a tenant. He's your tenant.
Well, I guess you'd say
And so-
he is my tenant for those 6 lots, yes.
Yes, sir. So it would be, as your tenant, your responsibility to provide wastewater treatment for him.
Well, I've said it's our responsibility, no doubt about that.
I have to ask our attorney something, please. If there's danger to the individuals living in those mobile homes due to the electricity, water, sewer, all those issues that we have absolutely, that are deplorable from what we've heard just from code, we haven't even gotten to planning yet. How in the world could we sit up here and absolutely ask somebody to live like that and approve it? I just don't know what to say about it, especially with the electrical and the plumbing and everything else that the trailers are, this person is renting you from. I don't know what to say to something like that. What are our moves on something that is so dangerous for somebody to live in? Aren't we supposed to protect the public from health and welfare of the public?
Well, you do. And so typically I would say that the violations with regard to code, being the electrical or whatever they may be, you would follow the normal process as you would for any violations. So you do have a chart of what you do. You follow what you would normally do in those situations. With regard to wastewater treatment, the county is not, we don't have jurisdiction over wastewater treatment. That jurisdiction lies the health department, the DEQ, and those agencies, and it's further regulated down the line. The Harrison County Utility Authority provides all the wastewater treatment within the county.
True, but that's not.
But it's after collection.
That's right.
It's after
That's
collection. So when you get down this, they talking about local, but when you get local, we're not in control of that.
That's right. That's why.
And so, but those tenants have an expectation when they enter into a lease agreement that their wastewater is going to be treated. And we have an obligation to the public as a county not to allow illegal discharge into our ground.
So I'm assuming Mr. Williams is not here today, right? Mr. Sam Williams
No.
is not here today, okay? Anything else you want to say before we speak to the neighbors?
No.
Okay, thank you.
One
very
thing
much.
I would like to ask first.
Yeah.
Is there any effort to collect that money that was apparently sent to someone?
Oh, yes, sir. That's why we filed a lawsuit as soon as Sam Williams came in and was appointed administrator of the city. We immediately filed a lawsuit against his mother and his sister, who collected all of this rent over all this period of time. That's our allegation.
About, do you have an amount we're talking about?
It was 10 years of rent, so what would that be?
Roughly.
Probably in the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I would say 100,000 easily. 2009 to 2018. All right, thank you. Any further questions of Virgil? Thank you so much. All of you are here. Are you opposing?
Could we hear from Eric?
Oh, absolutely.
Next, please? Thank you.
I'm sorry.
I didn't mean to.
No, that's okay. Let's hear.
And then,
Do you plan to get involved in any of this, or?
Kelly and I worked hand in hand with this. We went out initially and looked at it and determined very quickly that it was beyond the scope of just a sheer zoning violation, with the sewage lagoon being the biggest elephant in the room. You know, not having a sanitary place to dispose of any sewage for all these units makes the whole property out of compliance for everything. Now, and I can understand the hardships of getting it back in order, but it has to be in order, especially when they're providing a legal rent for a space that's going to be supplied potable drinking water and sanitary sewage removal. So at that point, I got with Kelly, we rode out there, and if you ride out there, it's very apparent that the majority of the trailers are in such a state of disrepair and been vandalized to a point, they didn't kick windows out. They kicked doors, window frames, corners. I mean, trailers are splayed open. It's horrible.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Anyone here who lives in one of those trailers or occupies there? No. All right, so neighbors, who have you spoken? All of you, I assume, are neighbors nearby?
Yes.
Would one of you like to speak about what, or a few of you like to speak? We can take 3 of y'all. You want to come up? Just
Well, I got one thing, ma'am. Actually, like they're talking about the lagoon's not operational.
do me a favor, wait till you come up. I got it.
Okay, sorry.
It's
The
okay.
thing about the lagoon.
Give me, excuse me, sir. Give me your name and address, please.
My name's Charlie Bond. I live at 18214. Well, actually, I own the property because I got private. I live over in Jackson County also.
So what's your address?
I live at. You answered that too quick.
If I want to
It's
send your
55
birthday card, where would I
It's
send it?
5571 Dead River Road, Goshen.
Thank you. Go
But
ahead.
I've actually owned the property up there on Braden Road since 2000.
So what's been your experience?
Well, the thing about it is, it's like they're saying, the thing with the lagoon, there's actually been raw sewage running across Braden Road. So, and then it's like, he was also saying the condition of the property and the trailers and everything that's up there. And not only that, I mean, the grass is as tall as I am. If you at least cut your grass and do some other stuff. But then it was even like you were saying before, I guess the son, Mr. Williams' son, had something to do with it for a while. He actually had it kind of taken care of. He's taken care of it. And then like, the attorney said that it kind of went south because of the mama and the daughter and the money just being whatever they was doing with it and not taking care of the place. And it's just, everything's really gone south. It's in deplorable conditions.
So what is your wish?
Well, they take care of what's going on. Actually, I'm trying to sell my property. That's one of the reasons why I'm really here. I've actually had 2 different buyers, but right at like closing day, because I'm trying to get rid of my property actually. And then some other neighbors, they just spent a bunch of money on theirs, fixing theirs up, and they're getting ready to try to sell it.
So you think
it
it's
just-
hurting
it's
the
just-
value of your property?
Well, it may not be hurt, well, yeah, but it hurts us trying to get rid of something too, because when you come up in Braden Road, it's just an eyesore.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, you wanted to say something? If you'd come forward, please give me your name and address, where you live, please.
My name is Brandy Budraw. I currently live at 18295 Cardinal Lane, but I recently inherited the property on Braden Road from my father who passed away in October.
Sorry.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm sorry for your loss.
So my father, who was a United States Marine Corps veteran, purchased that property about 44 years ago, and I grew up there along with my sisters. And that trailer park has been a sore subject in our home for the entire time, and it's just progressively gotten worse. When we would invite friends and family over who had never been to our house, we would kind of have to give them fair warning, like, yes, this is what you're gonna see when you pull up on the road, but our house is behind it. So as I said, it's just progressively gotten worse. The trailers are very derelict. As they were saying, most of them are not inhabited and uninhabitable because there are holes in the side of them. Several of them have targets painted on the side, and you can see the bullet holes in them, and you can hear the shooting. We've been out on my dad's property, which is now ours, cleaning it up, and we can hear them shooting in the trailer park. While my dad was in the hospital actively dying of cancer, his house was targeted, and all of his prized possessions that he was saving for his grandchildren were stolen out of his house. And one of the perpetrators was actually found in one of those abandoned trailers. And we know there is a lot of, we've put up cameras since then, we can see a lot of activity that is not normal in and out activity of people living there. We have been told by the police that there's a lot of drug activity. There have been several fires that we suspect is related to meth labs. Even since this initial robbery, we've caught people on our property several times. We actually have found a trail from the trailer park through the woods that's connecting our property and our neighbor's property, and we can see where they're walking through the woods, and they're actually using our woods to go all the way out to Cranberry Parkway. And we can see the trails where they're coming into our yard and where they've stored stuff back there and actually camped out on our property.
Wow.
So it's just been a lot to deal with in a very, very short period of time, while also grieving the loss of my father.
Yes, very hard. Thank you so much for sharing. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Can I ask a question? Nobody mentioned, are y'all smelling, is there odors from
Yes.
the lagoon?
Yes.
Nobody
Yes.
mentioned the
Yes.
offensive odors, so that's something that needs to be looked at too. The offensive, not, which could be, which is an indication that there could be some health problems.
Absolutely.
Health and life safety.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi.
Hi,
What's your name and
good morning.
address, please?
I'm Dawn Moran, 18210 and 18159 Braden Road. We own 2 properties there. Our children live in one. It's terrible. It's terrible. And my neighbors, the lagoon, as they say, the open sewage is right behind their property. So I know it's atrocious there because it smells where we are and we're a ways away from it. But there is raw sewage floating, and there are gunshots and lots of 2-second drive-bys in the trailer park, which can't be good. Nobody pulls in for 2 seconds, and it's obviously interaction going on, and it's, you know, our grandchildren moved away, and we're the ones trying to get rid of our property now, trying to sell, and it's horrible. We had a yard sale, a charity yard sale, and people came to my charity yard sale and said, we almost turned around when we pulled off of Highway 49 because it's so terrible. The property should be sold as commercial property. It could be rezoned as commercial property, and it can make the Williams estate good money to reimburse them for their losses. They can't move new trailers in. We fought a few years back when they tried to bring new trailers in. They weren't new, they were older, but they were newer than what's there now.
Yeah.
But they tried to move a few in, and me and the neighbors, we fought because they were told back when that once they're gone, they're gone. And so they were trying to move new mobile homes in there, and we had to come and fight that. At that time, it was still what I would say would have been considered a low-income mobile home park, but it was still, families were still living there. It was still somewhat kept up, but in the last 6, 8, 10 years, it's gone terribly wrong. We've been there 23 years, and we've watched it go from a low-income trailer park with families living there to vagrants living in those empty trailers. We see them walking around, coming up Highway 49 with backpacks on and slipping into those empty trailers. And there are busted windows, busted doors, panels ripped off of the side. They've ripped out the water heaters. We've got neighbors that are burning wiring and stuff and getting copper out of it and everything. They do it every night. The sheriff's department is fully aware of it. They're coming through there all the time, and they're like, we know. But nothing's happening, so.
Thank you very
Can
much.
I ask another question? The trailers that are being rented, that Mr. Gillespie alluded to, Mr. Ladner is renting those trailers?
Yes, sir.
What is the condition of those trailers?
The same as the empty ones.
Tell me-
Missing siding,
And there are people living in it?
and there are people living in them, yes, sir.
But they-
Front porches falling off of them, and you can,
So those trailers
just
that are
driving
being
by without
rented-
even going in them, because I've not been in a single one. You can
That's why I just wanna make
visualize from the street that that is a safety
The
hazard.
ones that are being rented are at deplorable conditions as
Yes, sir.
well.
There were some of them, Mr. Lander, because we did not enter
Thank you.
the ones that were occupied. You know, we don't know the interior conditions of them. Like I said, there were a couple of them that they did have exterior porches and things like that are repairable on those. But
Those could be repairable.
yes, sir, there are some, and if the majority of those are Mr. Ladner's, and I spoke with him out there last Tuesday, and he was stating, of course, his thoughts on what he was trying to do as well. But several of them that are rented, exterior-wise, are not that bad. but like I said, we can.
Compared to
still go in
what
them.
though?
Ma'am?
Compared to what is, from what we're hearing?
Oh, right, right.
This is appalling.
Well, like I said, I mean, there were
That's
some that, with the sewer issue, and then the one where the electrical, and I don't know if the one that had the electrical exposed, I don't know. I think that may be owned by the Mr. Hutchinson, who I think was involved in it previously. So, I know there may be one other owner, is that right, Mr. Gillespie? Are you aware of there being one mobile home out there that's owned by someone else other than Mr. Ladner or the estate?
Does Mr. Ladner own all the trailers, or are there several owners that have trailers that are occupied?
Mr. Ladden owns all of them that are occupied as far as I know.
No, I
Here's Mr. Ladner right here.
Yeah, is this Mr. Ladner? Excuse me.
Yes, this is Mr.
Are you
Ladner.
Mr. Ladner?
Yeah,
Mr. Ladner, can we hear from you, please?
yeah.
I'm sorry.
I got it.
I know you do.
What's your name and address, please, sir?
My name is Chester Eric Ladner Sr. I live at 18188 Braden Road, which is directly behind the park. Actually, it's partially off of the park, but half of the property is behind the park, the other half is further south.
And you're receiving rent from people who are staying in some of these trailers?
Yes, I am, and I pay the rent religiously, have been for years and years.
And do you think
And I
that,
pay it quarterly, by the way.
do you think the conditions are something that you and your children would live in?
I doubt my children would, but the fact is, the problem started when Hutchinson took the place over because some people moved in and they started vandalizing everything. They were stealing hot water heaters, washers, dryer, refrigerators, stoves, everything. They were ripping it out. They'd taken the paneling off the outside wall because it's aluminum, and then they got to the wire because they were capable of doing that with it exposed. And my problem is I've got 8 trailers, not 6. I have 8. And I only have 3 rented. I had 2 rented, but the people moved out and the code office would not allow me to rent them again because I technically have no contract because both of the owners have passed away and the park is in probate. I asked Mr. Gillespie and I asked Sam Williams multiple times to give me an interim lease so I could lease the 2 trailers that I had available that are leasable, and they would make more money and I would make more money, and I would have money to fix up another one of my trailers. And it's worse than a roller coaster thing because I don't ever get any feedback as to why I can't get an interim lease. It's absolutely ridiculous because the trailers are there and I'm paying the lot rent on them and I can't do nothing to make my money back. So,
Okay.
as a matter of fact, there's a person walked into one of the trailers that I don't own just the other day, and the person that was in there asked them what they were doing. They said, well, we're checking this place out because I'm gonna sell this trailer. And she don't own that trailer.
All right, thank you. Any questions of Mr. Ladner?
I have some questions too from Mr. Ladner. Are you aware that there's no water, no sewer? There is water, but there's no sewer out there for you, the individuals that you are leasing, that you're renting to?
Yes, and I have tried running a snake down through it to clean it out, and my snake's only 50 feet long.
But there's no proper disposal because the lagoon is not in operation.
I understand that. Somebody
That's
stole
illegal.
the aerator and sold it for scrap somewhere.
But that is illegal. You still continue to rent even though you don't have proper disposal for your customers.
Well, they don't have anywhere to go either. Some of them, well, one of them does, the other two don't. They're
Got a
living
homeless
stuff.
coalition.
There's homeless coalitions and people that we can put you in touch with for people that need homes that they can afford to pay rent to you, right?
Well, actually, one of them doesn't pay rent. She pays services, cutting grass in the different lots. And as a matter of fact, I have started using my riding lawnmower to cut grass in the lots that I don't even own.
All right, thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Ladner.
Mr. Ladner.
Any other questions for Mr. Ladner? Thank you. Ma'am in the back, thank you for your patience. We'll take one more comment and then we'll discuss. What's your name and address, please?
My name is Jean Crawford, and I live at 18221 Braden Road. My house is behind the trailer park, and the lagoon is right behind my house. There's woods that separates my house from the lagoon.
Approximately how far?
Sir, I don't know, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm afraid to walk around in the trailer park and in that area.
Do you smell
Yes, I do.
the lagoon waste
Yes.
every day?
Just about every day.
And it smells like sewage?
Yes, it does. And I have some pictures if y'all would like to look at them.
You can just pass them this way.
This first is, I think the one that they use, Target. It's got bullet holes and stuff in.
I think we've got backup.
Yeah.
Just seen.
Our code office has done a great job of taking a ton of pictures, so we want y'all to know that we have seen many, many, but thank you for this.
I think, if I may.
Yes.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion that we proceed with the total, I don't know if our attorney's going to be able to help us navigate this quagmire, but it has got to, y'all have got to have some relief, and I'm appalled that it's gone this far. Obviously, you know, we thought that the state was taken care of, et cetera, and it just moved from one, but I think the buck needs to stop here, and we need to move on this immediately. It's just how we move on it is what I'm gonna have to ask legal.
What's the wording of her motion, Tricia?
Are you talking about demolishing the trailers, the old trailers?
Cleaning that whole place.
Or move them out?
Yeah, cleaning them out. I mean, there's.
Declaring it a blighted property that must be
Declaring it
removed.
totally blighted property
And then also the cost of cleaning out the lagoon and filling it, right? I mean, that would be another step.
Be careful, because you got a customer, you got a legitimate customer feeding into that lagoon as well, so.
Oh. We do?
The business,
Pipe
what
company.
business was it what business is it that's still using them?
G&O Supply.
G&O Supply.
Pipe company.
Gotcha.
You're gonna have, you know, it's not a simple.
But we could still declare it a blighted property, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is that your motion?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll second.
Yeah, the blighted property, I don't know.
I'll
Yeah,
second.
just
All right, so we
gonna
have
Be
a-
careful closing down the lagoon.
Thank you, I didn't realize that G&O was
And that's
tied.
not gonna help them, but I mean, we're dealing in something here that we've never dealt before.
So first of all, pursuant to the statutes.
Okay.
I'm sorry, ma'am, they're doing it.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate
I'm
it.
sorry.
Unless there's anything else you wanted to say.
I just wanted to
Yeah,
say
we
that
made our
it's
motion.
really a health
Yeah.
hazard to all of us in that area. Just not the people in the trailer park, but to all of the other people.
Yeah.
And our
Thank you.
state agencies are.
May I make a statement about this motion?
You got a motion and a second.
We have a motion and a second, so let us finish this if you don't mind. Give us 1 minute. Okay, you wanna let him speak? Okay, go ahead, Virgil.
Yeah.
I'm just,
there's a well on this property. And GNO is supply, I think, uses the septic, the lagoon. We could probably cure, that's not, as far as I know, that's not in this particular situation. We could perhaps put a septic tank in because they just use it for business, but the well, like I say, we've been trying to work this. We just spent that $20,000 here just not too long ago to keep the people with water. And we're trying to clean up the rest, but if y'all want to do a blighted property on it, then it'll be sold for taxes and probably take a problem off of my client's hands.
Right.
That he's been paying me, he's been bearing all the expense himself to get
Right.
where we are now.
And
No,
someone had a great
I-
idea, it could be commercial property, possibly one day, and maybe recoup some of that. Thank you. What would the wording be?
If we do declare that, of course, it take the lagoon offline, what obligation do we have to provide the sewer for the business?
Well, we are under none. The responsibility for providing sewer would be up to the landlord who is receiving the income. So the county's not under an obligation to provide wastewater treatment, so they would do.
Will y'all do that, Virgil?
We'll have to do what we can.
Because I wouldn't hesitate a minute to declare it a blighted property. I just don't.
All right, well, we have a motion. What would the wording be for Supervisor Rocco's motion,
So
please?
you need to make findings that it is, the property is in such a state of disrepair that it can no longer be suitable for use and occupancy, is neglected to the extent the structures or debris and remnants from the structures are a menace to the public health and safety, are subject to entry by invited persons, including homeless persons, juveniles, and vandals, and are subject to possible infestation of rodents and other varmints, and is dilapidated to such an extent to be a danger and or blight to the community. Now, that wording should be included in the motion, but one thing that you have historically done with the other blighted properties, and I do recommend you do it here, is you have allowed the landowner the opportunity. You can't go in there tomorrow anyway.
But they've had 5 years. How long has this been going on?
Six.
About 14.
It's been 6 years.
We got to give it, but
Giving 30 days.
one other little kink in this deal as far as blighted property, generally there's no residences.
That is correct, and you want to allow these tenants the opportunity to find other accommodations. So these people in these trailers need the opportunity to relocate.
So those two people need 30-day notice. Today's the
In essence,
first.
yes, that's
Give them
what
a
you
notice.
do.
Give them
That
a
is
notice
what you
today.
do. You're not, I mean, you could go out there today and lock it all up, but that's not, it's not their fault that they were paying rent and they weren't getting wastewater treatment.
I make that motion to be at least 30 days.
And then revisit it in 30 days.
No,
No.
No.
we don't want
That's
to
up to
revisit.
you. Very good. You have, under the law, you have from, after once it's declared blighted, you have from
30
6 to
days.
12
So what-
times to go onto the property within the next year.
What she's saying is you need, and I understand that, what she's saying is you need to revisit it because you need to know that those people are out of there. You're not gonna send machines in there to destroy property that somebody's living in. And what she's saying, we need to revisit it in 30 days, and by God, they better be out, because we're gonna, sooner or later, this is gonna be taken care of. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, I would advise you to do as she said. Let's pass the motion as she said.
Are the people gonna be noticed by
Yeah.
the landowner
Yeah.
that they have 30 days?
It should be by us.
We can provide a notice that by order of the Board of Supervisors today,
You got 30
that
days.
the property was declared blighted, there's 30 days to vacate the property or bring the property into compliance.
They are tenants, they don't have that
I
authority.
But can we also give them a list of places that they can go and homes to look at?
I can't.
No, we don't want to do that.
I
There's
know.
plenty of that out there.
I mean, I can't.
We don't want to get into
All right, we
real
have a-
estate agent.
we have a-
don't want to be a real estate
Well,
agent.
not to buy something, but to, get some places.
But I don't think we've ever,
All right, so,
that's the issue, people live, we never declare the property blighted.
Well, it's first time for everybody.
This is a different situation than one we've
I'm
never
not
had.
I'm agreeing with you.
Can I
yeah,
ask a question?
all right, we have a motion and a second on the floor. You know the wording, Brittany, all
I got it
those.
on the recording.
You got it on the recording. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all for your patience. Thank you.
Be patient with us a little bit longer as we work through
30
the
days.
legal situation, please.
All right, so we're gonna, do we have a motion to recess until our May 22nd, third meeting this month?
No, we meet next week.
Oh, next week, jeez, Biloxi.
You're gonna recess in the first judicial district, because you have a third meeting.
Okay, so I make a motion to recess this meeting
In the first judicial district.
in the first.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed?
When is the meeting?
Kelly.